What's going on? What's going
Hey,
on?
what's up? What's up?
Hey, this your boy Sean.
It's your boy Troy.
We tapped
And
in.
we tapped in again.
Tapped in.
Yes, sir.
Tapped in, man. Busy week this week, man. But before we get into that, hey, we want to appreciate y'all that's been, looking at the content, sharing the content. We appreciate you guys' support. But the one thing that I asked, when we posting out there, we really want to know what y'all want to hear us talk about, So, if you see the post and we say, hey, we want y'all to chime in, what y'all talking about, in the barbershop, what you talking about in the beauty salon, at the kitchen table, or with your homeboy. Just riding in the car. We want to know what y'all conversation is like and what y'all think. And we're just gonna bring it up on here and we can discuss. Our view might be a little bit different, or we might agree with you, but for the most part, we want y'all to be a part of this. This is a community. This is the Tapped In community, man, and we appreciate y'all.
That's it. Yo.
All right. So look, I'm still on my run from the merch that I got from InvestFest. If you can see this is a lion here. It's got a whole bunch of encouraging words and affirmations. This shirt is actually from a company called the House of Langston. Nice. Back in the day, they used to be MCs, and aged out. Did they run? Did some touring, got a little deal, but said, hey, we want to still be relative in the community,
right? And the culture,
and the culture. How can we still be a part? And so that's what they came up with. Inspirational clothing brand. Their mascot or logo is the lion. And if you look this weekend on our Tapped In page, I had the guy telling the story behind how they came up with that with the idea.
Yeah,
for the
it's a fly brand, man. From what I see, man, I like it.
It is, man. Nice thick quality. Honestly, that's what caught my attention. Yeah. Usually you see people selling t-shirts, and it's a t-shirt. It's got their stuff on it, but this kind of like a woven cotton, thick, nice. Thick quality cotton. So, good stuff, man. Okay. And so House of Langston, check them out. I think they're from the South too.
Okay. House of Langston.
House of Langston.
I'm on it. Yes, sir. So, man, wrapped up the first week, man, of the NFL, man. I got to go there, man. Look, shout out to all the Philly fans. We held it down that we do. Man, show who you like.
Man, I need a drink, man.
Hold on, man. Who you like? Who you rock with? Oh, you're a Ravens fan, right?
Man, I'm a Ravens fan, man. All day, man. All day. Man,
how in the world do you guys put up 40-some plus points, have your running back running over everything like a Mack truck on the field and lose that game? I mean, you got, man, help me understand that one.
Man, somebody got to help me understand it, man.
Help me understand.
Really, man, what's crazy is it was fourth quarter, and it wasn't Josh Allen. Like most people be like, oh, you can't give Josh Allen time, can't give him time. It wasn't Josh Allen, man.
You don't think so?
I mean, he made the plays, but we didn't make the plays that we were supposed to make. We make the plays that we supposed to make. Henry was killing. He don't turn that ball over. We probably scoring again, or we running the clock.
It can't be based off that one mistake. I always say that, man.
But then on defense, we played this weak zone coverage when we got all of these studs back there in the secondary, man. Like make him beat you.
Yeah.
Like really make him beat you. Don't allow for him to be able to find open spots and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, it's the first game of the season. We can rebound from this, but let's go ball out. And to me, like I had flashbacks because the last time I was that mad about the game was in the championship game when we played them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm like, I'm thinking, I can't remember that game, but I think he used his legs a lot in the second half, like to pick up yardage and stuff. And I think they was afraid of, playing a man coverage and allowing him to get on the outside and get first downs and stuff like that. But to me, that's going to eat up more of the clock because first he's got to sit back there and make the decision that he's not going to throw. Then he's got to run. Then he's got to try to get out of bounds, and then he's gonna get hit, right? And so let's make him have to make the plays. It's almost like we played a soft coverage, and he was just able to make throws, man.
And the tight game, last 3 2-minute drill, whatnot, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Best thing is keep the ball out of his hand. Honestly, man. I mean, the best thing to do is just keep the ball out of his hand.
And so the other thing, I mean, you could play Monday morning quarterback. Well, that was Monday. Was that Monday night? That was Sunday night.
Yeah, that was Sunday night.
The other thing, man, is that our offensive play calling, when we got the ball back after they scored, and so we was up 8, or we were up 8 or 7. Yeah. Either which way, we was very what's the word I'm looking for? We wasn't aggressive at all. We hand the ball off twice, and then Lamar's got to try to make a throw to get us the first down.
Y'all weren't intentional about really getting that first down, man. Like,
yo, he was killing all game. He was killing
using his legs, moving out.
Let him make the plays.
Oh,
you know what I mean? We trying to run a sweep with Flowers in the back. Man, come on, man. We got Hopkins, we got Flowers, we got Derrick Henry. Let's do what we've been doing. Let's make them have to make a play. Boom. He in the I formation, he coming behind. He either hand it off, pulling, and then Lamar doing what he do. I can live with that. But man, like a handoff to Zay and then a handoff to Derrick, even though Derrick was killing, like they waiting.
It's expected.
It's expected, man. And any other prime quarterback, the offensive coordinator lets the quarterback do it with his arm. If you think about it, Josh Allen does it with it. Patrick Mahomes does it with his arm. Joe Burrow does it with his arm. Herbert does it with his arm. Goff does it with his arm. Like, they're not trying when the game tight like that, they ain't trying to like run it off to get a first down. When if you get a first down, this game is most likely over.
Right. Let's try to seal the deal.
Let's get it done, man.
Let's try to seal the deal.
Be aggressive. And I seen that too much last year. So it wouldn't surprise me. Was it last year? What, we fired the offensive coordinator like in the middle of the year, didn't we? Like first couple of games. That might happen with a defensive coordinator this year, man.
Yeah.
Like, because we look too much. We making the same.
It's a repeat of what
making the same mistakes,
what you've seen
man.
so far.
Making the same mistakes.
Well, what would you think? What you think about the boy, man? He played tonight, Daniels, man. I know you see him the first week, coming back. Think he's living true to what?
He the real deal.
He's the real deal.
He the real deal.
Okay, salute.
Because unlike Lamar, Lamar came in as that prototypical running quarterback. He is a pocket passer, right? He can make those throws, but I would say he was looked at more of an athletic quarterback that can run, but he can make throws.
Right.
Where Jaden Daniels, he's looked at as a pocket quarterback that just happens to be athletic enough to run and pick up the yardage and stuff that he needs. But if you look at them two side by side coming in, one was geared to more of running than pass game. The other one is geared towards a passing game. And then if that's not there, I can get out of here. Right. That sack that would have been for, somebody like a Drew Brees or a Peyton Manning. It do look like he run about a 4.4.
Yeah, he's not a big guy at all.
He's not big, man. But when he get moving, he get that same kind of separation.
Yeah, absolutely.
He get the same kind of separation. Yeah. So coming out of the gate, he's a much better NFL passer than Lamar Jackson is. I think that they're about the same. Lamar Jackson is a better passer now than he is a runner. I would say they're about the same. Lamar might be a little bit better passer than him, but he's a, he came into this as a better passing quarterback to me.
Nice. Yeah. Kid definitely got a whole lot of talent, man. It's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be a good season, man. See my boy Russell Wilson, man. Look, I gotta switch it up, man.
We still in football.
Russ the kidnapped the man's child, man.
Man,
Let's talk about it, man. Think about it, man. Okay. So how many? I think Sierra and Russell and his wife Sierra, they share how many kids together?
I think
of their
two.
Own? Two of their own.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have he has a stepson that's Future's child.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, Sierra added Russell Wilson's last name to Future's child.
So is it whatever the last name was, -Wilson?
It's -Wilson, but I take offense to that personally. And I'm going to say the reason why, because we know that the boy child carry on the family legacy, the name. So like when they have kids, that's how your lineage continue on, is by your sons and stuff like that. So she kind of snipped that right there, because now if her son, when he grow up and get married and have kids and stuff, that last name
is gone.
Is Wilson. Sure.
So I'm gonna say it's levels, or it depends, right? If Future is present and being the father that he feels like he should be, and he's involved in it and engaged in his son's life, I don't think that becomes an issue, right? If he's active, present, spends the time, whether it's in person or FaceTiming over the phones, engaged in the little boy's life, I don't think that becomes an issue. I could be wrong. Maybe he is engaged and involved. If he is, then I think that that's wrong. I think, because I know personally, in order to change a child's last name, the father has to consent to it.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So to change it from, like, say for me it was Stewart,
but I think she did the workaround, though.
Right. So she
that's why she hyphenated it. But and think about this. I kind of disagree, because I feel like even if you're not involved parent, involved father, so when the child is born, you have the right to not give them the father's last name if you guys aren't married.
Right.
So she could have easily gave her last name. Once you give that child, they're a part of that family, not just the dad, the whole family, your cousins, your grandmoms, that's your family.
Yeah, but they're part of that by blood anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think it's right to take that back, man, because now you're cutting off, like I said, that part of the family for future generations. You know what I mean? So it's like, once that's your name, that's your name. I mean, it is what it is. I
don't know, man. I so like if you're not involved and engaged, man, and I'm gonna put a twist on this for you. If you're a father and you're not involved and engaged, and your son loves and respects the man that's raising him, and he want to have that last name, like as a father, like you're thinking about it as a father, the father that you are, right? But as a child, you're looking at it like this man is my dad. He does everything that a dad should do. I don't call him Mr. Such and Such. I call him Dad. He treats me that way. Doesn't make me feel any different than any of his other kids. And what if he approached her and was like, I want my last name to be the same as y'all's?
Man, you might have a point. And then I'm sitting here thinking, I'm always this way with it. I'm like, no, but then I'm thinking from a sibling standpoint too. It can't probably make that child stand out when everybody else sharing the same last name. Right. You go somewhere, you got to sign in, you got to put the name tags on, and you're always the different one. So,
but the caveat in that is, in order for that to take, It's crazy. In order for that to take place,
Mm-hmm.
the biological father has to be somewhat absent. Because if the biological father is not absent, that child, I don't think ever comes to that conclusion. They don't come to the conclusion like I want my last name to be his last name because of what he does for me.
Right, because you carry with a sense of pride if your father is there.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so to me, like that's the only, I mean, but if she just hyphenated it and, Future's involved and stuff like that, I don't think that's right.
Yeah,
because that's his last name. It's no different. Like with me, my mom named me. She wasn't married when she was when I was born, and I had my dad's last name, but her maiden name was Holden, right?
Right.
And so since after my mom, she was the last Holden,
right.
right. So the only way to keep that name going was me to either change my last name to Holden, or name one of my kids Holden.
Right. Yeah.
So that's how, you know what I mean?
Right. That makes sense. Okay.
So that was my way of being able to keep my grandfather's name going.
Right.
Right. So now it might not be, Sean Holden, but now it's Holden Stewart. And now it could be Holden Stewart the second, what I mean? Or Holden, some version of Holden something, and that name gets to live on.
So back in the day, though, it was always a standard. I think I said this earlier, like if you had a kid out of wedlock, then you kept the mother's last name anyway.
Right.
But if you married, you kept, what I mean? So I know me and my siblings, we have, the different last names. I think 3 of us might have the same one. But I mean, that's just because the time, when our parents got married, we all had the same parents, though. We could have went, I guess, to the courthouse and got it changed and whatnot, and probably should have, man, when you think about it, because of.
So what was your pop's last name?
Phillips.
But your mom's last name was Bailey.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
I never knew that.
Yeah. So technically, I am, a Phillips.
Right.
And then so my kids, the generations on, should have continued on with that
last name.
So that's what I said, Bob, when I said you snip that bloodline conduit.
So is that how you felt? Is that how you feel?
Nah, because of the way that it was back in the day. That was just how it was. If you wasn't married at the time,
you didn't get that last name.
You didn't get that last name. So I mean, but once they did, get married to something, that's probably something that we could have.
Right. My mom was a rebel, man.
Yeah,
she was gonna
go against
odds. She go against the grain, man. Gave my dad last name.
A lot of young ladies do that now, though. They'll give the baby the kid, last name or whatever. So
right,
yeah.
So speaking of that, man, you had shared something with me where it was a young lady. She was with she was married, and with a guy. She, out of her own mouth, was a good man. You know what I mean? God-fearing man. All he wanted to do was go to work, provide for her, be a good, raise her kids, and go to church. And she was like, that was good, but that wasn't enough for her. Like, he didn't do nothing to her. It was just that lifestyle wasn't enough for her.
Man, it's like a recurring thing. I'm starting to see more and more of that pop up, man. And it's like,
so what's the cost of more?
Man, I think what they're saying, and if I can, I guess, be the devil advocate, I think what the young women are saying that they want more balance. You know what I mean? Because being a provider, being spirit led, being a God fearing man, that's good. That's like your moral compass. But at the same time, you still have to. I guess they looking for more excitement inside of the marriage. You know what I mean? More, and everybody come from different backgrounds too. A lot of guys, man, like they start early. They've been out in the streets. They didn't, you know what I mean, played the game and ran around. So when they settle down, they were like, okay, I'm done with that.
This. Yeah, I don't want to go out. You know what I mean? I done been out enough.
Yeah, and then you might have a young lady who grew up in church, doing Bible study Wednesday night, 2 services on Sunday, in the house, cooking, cleaning. So now I have the freedom. I'm married now. We got a little bit more money. Let's have fun now.
Right.
And I think that's the conflict that these, they're running into is like, man, okay, I want this good life, but I want to,
I want
I want to have a little bit more fun,
yeah.
and I think that's what I'm hearing. I don't think it's like, I don't appreciate that he's a good guy. It's just that I need more excitement. I need more, and which could end up costing you guys to go outside of the will of God and destroy the good thing that you got going on. Because sometimes we open ourselves up to too much by having fun and going places where we shouldn't be at. And,
right.
It's complicated, man.
It is, man. And it's crazy because like when I'm listening to her, I'm listening at the things that she did have. She had a provider, right? She had a guy that was willing to go to work and, do whatever he could do to be able to support the family. She had a man who valued something more than himself and their family. So there was a standard that he was chasing after, as far as Christ goes, right? And he wanted to be a father to his children, right? So, okay, either to me, it's like, what more did you want? Okay, if you wanted more excitement, did you want him to be more ambitious in his goals as far as his job and the things that he and how he was providing? Was it not enough money? Because you can get those, like you can get those things, but there may be a sacrifice of those other core things that you don't think that you're right now. You're taking those things for granted because you have them, right? What you're not what you're looking for are the things that you don't have, but it could be a conversation, or maybe he hasn't matured to that point where he sees life the way that you do.
Right.
Maybe you've experienced things that he hasn't. You come from different households. He was taught, if you ain't going to college, you find yourself a good job, make sure that you can put food on the table, take care of your family, put a roof over your head, and so he's in a maintain level. Maybe he just needs to be shown something different, right? And it's not, in that case, it's not going to happen just like that. It may be a gradually shift in the people that you hanging around, and a gradual shift in this day and age of maybe y'all both on social media, you sending little things about businesses or things like that, but to love somebody enough to be to want to marry them and to have those core things there and to chase after something else, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it.
It's not, but you know what? I'm going to venture out and say this too, man. I think you can have one that's content, because I was listening to you talk. His job might 6 figures a year. He's might, taking care of everything, and he's comfortable. Got a little something tucked away, and what I mean. If an emergency come up, he can handle it. So in his mind, I have free time. On his free time, that's the time he might be able to spend with, the kids and his family, do some coaching, do things like that. Last time when you get some of the more ambitious type people, then some of those things are missed because you don't have that time, the kind of balance the two. But listen to you say that, sometimes I think what either the male or the female is missing in relationships is the highlights, because we live in a time, man, we need a highlight reel, man.
Right.
If you don't have nothing to post, if you don't have the next best thing that you're doing and all that, feel like you're not doing anything.
That next big trip.
Yeah, if you ain't been on a big trip, or you ain't just closed this deal, or you ain't just signed this contract, or this or that, if you don't have nothing to kind of highlight, it feel like
we ain't doing nothing.
Right.
Yeah, we just going through the motions.
And I think that's a huge trap that a lot of people is falling into nowadays, man.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's crazy because it reminds me of another thing I had seen, man, where the girl she had gotten all dressed up, and he was like, where you going? Like, he knew she was going out. So I'm going out with my girls. And so he was like, okay, I see you. And she was like, well, what I mean, you don't be doing nothing. We don't do nothing. He was like, well, I mean, I just, you know what I mean? We do stuff. She was like, nah, but like, I got a bag. Me and my girls got a bag. We just want to go out and have fun and stuff like that. He's like, oh, okay. All right, y'all, you and your girls got a bag. She was like, yeah, and you don't do nothing. He was like, oh. He said, so when you went to go take a shower, did the water work? Did the lights come on? When the last time you had to pay a bill in here? When you went to go watch your favorite show on Netflix, internet was working? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like he providing, but in the midst of providing, and you know what I mean, in his zone, in his lane, by no means am I telling anybody to settle, but it's just like sometimes I think people miss it, right? Or take it for granted. Take it for granted are the things that you don't even have to think or worry about because I'm getting it done, but you worrying about, oh, we ain't going on no trip this year, or oh, we haven't, we haven't gone out in the last month.
Right.
It's like, but yeah, you ain't had to worry about nothing in the last month. You never do whatever you want to do. Come home, do whatever you want to do. Don't have to be like, yo, my phone ain't on, the cable off. You know what I mean? Like everything's taken care of.
Yeah.
That's a luxury.
And that's the cost of more sometimes. Sometimes the more and more you do, the more you start to struggle for those core necessities. Because you see a lot of people, man, go out and have a great time and go on these lavish trips. And then they somewhere, putting the car title up, trying to, get extra cash.
Right.
This, that, and the third. So, I mean, it's a balance to everything, man. But by all means, I'm a firm believer, man, of having fun, living, enjoying your youth. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And, why you can, because we don't know what the future holds, man. We're going to have the rest of our lives, Lord willing, to sit back on the couch and enjoy each other Sunday afternoons. But right now, while we're young, but it doesn't always have to be something extravagant.
Right.
And then it doesn't always have to be for the public eye.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's things we enjoy, man. We could walk a trail, and my wife loved to go on trails and stuff, and we just go, and it might not be exciting to somebody else, but we're enjoying nature. We're enjoying each other. Hey, it's cool.
Right. Yeah, nah. And again, man, to each their own, but, evaluate the cost of more.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then having that brings us to our next topic, though. You got to have the right mentorship, man, if for the thing that you're aspiring to do. So even if you're new, even in like a marriage, it's nothing wrong with going to somebody that has more years in the marriage than you and say, hey, man, how did you guys last for this? Or even if that business that you're going into, someone that has been there and already done established themselves. Hey, man, what steps can I avoid? Or, just the importance of having great mentorship.
Right.
I think that's a huge one, man. Like having the positive mentor.
Right. And having somebody we talked about this last week, having somebody who has the wisdom, rather they went through it or they seen it played out, to be able to, bring some things to your attention. Because the one thing that stood out to me in that the previous thing that we was talking about, the girl was co-signing. The interviewer was co-signing the feelings and the thoughts that the other girl was having. Like, yeah, no, you shouldn't have to settle. You shouldn't have to this. But somebody with some wisdom and some knowledge and experience, and maybe been through it themselves, could give her a whole nother perspective. Like, no, you're looking at this all wrong. The things that you're seeking are things that can come in time. The things that you have, you could end up getting the things that you're seeking and not have those things at all. Right. So now you getting the excitement, you getting the trips and all of this kind of stuff. But then you have a person that doesn't want to be involved with your kids, has no moral compass, right? Leaves you, crying and heartbroken. Yeah, you living in the big house and you taking the big trips and your Instagram look nice, but you're miserable. Right. And so, like, giving a perspective where it's looking back. Like, we can't And when we're going through stuff in our life right now, we don't have the ability to be able to look through experiences and look back and be like, I wish I would have had
Right. It's
done
only
this
in
or that.
hindsight that,
Right. Yeah. It's not until you made that decision and you just start living a little bit that you now can look back and be like, that probably wasn't the best decision.
Right.
And to have
Facts.
a positive mentor around you can be like, look, I remember when my homeboy was going through the same thing.
Right.
And, we talked about it and, he ended up making this decision. And until this day, he looked back and was like, man, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason why he said that is because this, and this. And now you got something to weigh. Because now you're talking to somebody who's seen this story play out.
Right.
So the choice is, a lot of times when we make a decision, we get tunnel vision. All we can see is the good that could happen.
Right.
You don't see how this thing can go off the tracks.
Right. But it's almost like 50-50 though, because starting off, and I always speak from personal experience, like making decisions, I would always approach a decision like, what could possibly go wrong? And sometimes looking at that can deter you from making those decisions, because I had a homeboy and he was like, all he thought about what could go right. He was like, man, right. And it was like full steam ahead, and just like, it's almost like he didn't ponder it too long. Like, oh man, I'm gonna do this. If I do this, this is gonna happen.
Right.
And man, just go right at it and
be convicted with it.
Yeah, and go. And 9 times out of 10, it worked. Where I was still sitting back, trying to calculate, man, if they do this. I mean, it wasn't always the straightforward thing to do either that he was doing, but I mean, once he made up his mind, he thought of everything that could go right. So I think it's a balance in that. But even in that, man, I had to, because I had a little more experience and I was a lot older than him. So a couple of things I seen him moving full speed ahead on. I said, look, this is how this is going to play out. And it's one of those things too. The old folk used to say, life will learn you, or what I mean? You understand it better by and by. Right. So I would tell him something, and man, a couple of years later, come back. Yeah, man, you said it. You told me.
Right.
So it is a balance to it, but yeah, I think, and having to you gotta even vet your mentors sometimes too, because what I'm seeing a lot now is you have a lot of the older generation. I'm not gonna say they're hating on the young people, but it's almost like young people now are grasping opportunities. They're jumping out there and they're doing things. And from where some of the older people have been so reserved, it kind of like they want to like slow them down, but nah, man, I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah, and it's more. I think you're right. I mean, because now it's like more access. A lot of the things that was hidden, as far as information is being exposed and stuff now,
right?
And some of the trauma, because that's the only way that I can explain it. Some of the trauma that some of the elders went through when they were going for their dreams, and there was purposeful roadblocks thrown at them.
Yeah.
Some of those things don't even exist anymore, and it's almost like I'd rather encounter somebody who goes after everything, right? And I can just say, hey, I mean, look, not a mentor that casts their fears on them, but just say, hey, be mindful.
Right. I encourage you, but be mindful.
Yeah.
Right.
Go after it. But just understand that not necessarily everybody who is saying they with you is, is with you. If you're convicted in what you want to do, you go after that. Don't let anybody deter you, but don't be surprised that along the way that some of the people that you thought wanted to see you win actually didn't want to see you win at all.
Oh yeah.
Right. And they, or, win in the sense of it could be your career. It could be a relationship. It could be a number of different things. A dream of a business that you could have, right? It's a lot of people who, say say they will support you, say they're gonna be there, but then when the rubber hits the road, they're not there, right?
Right.
And so it's just a matter of, again, taking it with a grain of salt, because mentorship to me is a guide. It's up to the individual to take that information and apply it or not, right? But the fact of that you have it there, and if it's somebody who consistently gives you good advice, whether you take it or not, I think it's important for you to keep those people around in
it's
your
valuable,
life,
man.
right?
It is valuable, man. And so many people don't have that, man, and it reflects in a lot of the decisions that they make.
Yeah.
And then and it's crazy because you could be on both sides of that. You can either be upfront and be a mentor, or you could be that person who always say, I told you so.
Right.
I knew, just sitting back watching, like, nah, man, jump in there and help the youngins, man. If you see them, especially if they allow you, give you that access. You know what I mean? If you get access to some of these younger folks, man, it's okay to be a mentor. And mentorship don't mean you did everything right along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said earlier, it means that I went through the process and I just know how this works.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like mentorship, you could almost say it's similar to, the thing that's going around, what they call them, the OGs and the DGs,
the YNs, the OGs.
Yeah. So like, the one thing that I'm seeing a lot is, and we talked about it, a couple times here recently, is just guys our age, it's crazy because I don't feel like it, but you would say we middle age, right?
Yeah. Man, we past middle age, man.
Yeah. Is embracing that OG status.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Understanding that in and of itself is a blessing in our communities to be able to get to the place where we've actually lived some life. We've experienced a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a lot of guidance that we can give to the next generation. And to me, I think, if you, I don't want it to be taken the wrong way, but as an OG, you should still be your biggest and best accomplishments should still be ahead of you as well.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of times, sometimes in our community, some advice is given from people who their biggest and best accomplishments was 20 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's hard to advise youth today because they have access to so many things that unless they see you unless they see you moving forward now, it's hard for them to believe in the advice that you give.
Man, I'm telling you, the biggest thing I see that in, man, the biggest, I guess, area I see that in, and this is not an attack against anyone, because a lot of them who have had that, what I'm about to say, who had that status are doing great things, but it's that sports arena, man. Like, you might have a guy, man, he was a great football player in high school. He, you know what I mean? He dunked on everybody in high school, and,
right.
He was loved for that. And now it's like, what have you done since that, man? I mean, the kids love you for that. Don't get me wrong, but in this game called life,
right?
Like,
what is that going to do for the next generation?
What is it going to do for the next generation? I mean, granted, you do have some experience there. You can give back, but like you said, you have to be doing more. And I say it all the time, man. Okay, oh, man, he used to be... Okay, but what are you doing now to stay relevant now to the youth? Like, because these guys are going to age out. They pass high school. They're going to college. They coming back. They start careers.
Right.
Now, what can you give them?
Right. And I mean, even the crazy thing is, like, even at, if you take it to a professional level, most of those guys are retired by, let's say, 35.
Right.
That's like 10 years younger than us, man.
Yeah. Life don't stop there.
Right. So now it's just like, okay, yeah. But the guys that's playing in the league now, Like when they get done, if all you talking about is what I did when I was in the league and you not moving and striving,
right,
some in the business or in the community, or nonprofits, or if you're not pushing the envelope somewhere else, they can be like, yo, OG he got done balling, just he quit.
Yeah,
he quit. So like and I guess what I'm saying is, in order to stay relevant as an OG, I think you should yourself always be pushing and pursuing something.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Something. Not to say I've done it, but to understand that there's life left.
That you're still
live.
growing.
Yeah.
And that's like when I go to the gym and I see somebody in there 70 years old, man, and they fit and they getting it. It gives me, it's like they the pace car.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, I got another good 20 some more years if I keep 25, 30 years, So yeah, you always got to give them something to aspire to.
For sure.
I was thinking about, you got to cast even when you think about OGs and stuff, you always think about the streets and stuff too. You got cats that was so-called, street legends. They did that thing in the street. And say you get, I'm talking about even the ones with the cars, the houses and all that. You get knocked in 2025. You got the brand new BMW, Mercedes, whatever. You do a 15-year bid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cats coming in, you showing them pictures of a 15-year-old. Yo, man, that don't mean nothing to them more. Like all this stuff has an expiration date. So just sit back and embrace getting older. I like that analogy. Somebody say, being old means outliving dummies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Outliving dummies, man. Like, yo, that's something that we should all embrace, man. I don't have a problem with getting older, man. A lot of people.
It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to get older, man.
Yeah, but some people don't look at it like that. They feel like they have to dumb down to the next generation, just dumb down because I don't want to be on the same level as the generation down from me. I always want to be growing.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. You just said something, man. And I don't know where I saw that, but it was talking about, like glorifying the guys. And again, this is not against anybody, but I never even thought about it this way. He was saying, he's like, man, you think it was a thing doing a 15-year bid? He was like, man, I during that same time, I did 15 years out here in these regular streets.
Come on, man. Feeding myself, my family.
Yeah.
Every day.
And I was like, yo. And a lot, if you there trying to provide and be the person that your family needs, man, that's
a hard time. You're doing a hard time out here, man. Yeah, that's real. Everything's figured out for you. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody because that's their experience,
right? And again, I don't know how it's gonna get clipped up, but I don't want to be taken the wrong way.
Yeah,
by no means do I want any parts of that 15 years, right?
No.
But I know that during my last 15 years,
but they don't discount the 15 that I've done out here,
right?
Because you have to stay consistent. You got to figure out nobody's bringing you your meals.
Right.
Nobody's telling me when to get up. I got to make a choice every day to get up and go get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, business slow up. I got to figure out how to get it back. Cause ain't nobody the lights ain't gonna automatically stay on.
Right.
Yeah. The insurance ain't gonna automatically get paid.
And it's not just me. I'm not just looking out for me. When I look back, I got a whole, bunch of people behind me counting on me to make it.
Yeah, they counting it before you get it.
Yeah, so sometimes, man, that 15 or 5 or 10 in the box, man, I think that's why some of them go back so much, because it's a break from real life. The pressures of being out here.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but to all my brothers out there, hey, regardless of where you are, we all got to struggle, right?
Oh yeah,
we all got to struggle.
But the good thing is we don't have to do it alone, man. We got mentors, we got OGs, we got people that's out there, man. And I think it all starts by having a conversation, man. Especially us as black men. I'm going to say this, man. Us as black men, we need to start embracing each other more, man, and start involving ourselves more in conversation. I mean, we walk past each other, man. The head nod is cool, the gritting, but it's nothing wrong with taking 2 or 3 minutes out sometime, just having a conversation, man. You'd be surprised, man, who needs to hear what you got to say at that time. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure, man, for sure. And I mean, we talk. I think we talked about it on air, but you know, even just when you feel like you might be getting overwhelmed, man, just reaching out for some help. You know,
that's it.
Sometimes you may want to be able to talk to your spouse, but maybe you just don't want to. You don't want them to carry that load either, right? And so if you can empty that load out, pause. Whoa. All right. So if you can man. I don't think white people like that too much, man. That load out on somebody else, man.
Yeah, don't empty that load out.
But
bro.
like if you can verbalize, you know, those emotions to somebody,
right,
to somebody else who's, you know, not objective to your circumstances, right? And so they just listening and just giving you kind of that same thing that you would get. I'm not gonna say it's mentorship or like OG, but it's, you know, from the things that they've studied, from the people that they've talked to, from the experiences that they've heard, the perceptions that some people may have that they've had conversations with. Sometimes a good conversation is all you need to shift your entire mindset.
That's
to
it.
Be able to reset.
And then just having the space, like, you know, when you think of therapy and things like that, just having the space to have that conversation, because man, we can go weeks and weeks and be so busy in the rat race and talking to other people about what they haven't gone on that you don't even have time to really empty out what's really going on in your life. And time you sit back, you start talking, man, you'd be surprised how certain things just start to spill out. And you're like, man, I didn't even realize all that was going on with me.
Right.
But it's
until you had a safe space,
to have that conversation, man. So yeah, I encourage all my brothers, man, you know, and sisters, man, if you can find somebody great to talk to, man, do it, because it's needed, man.
For sure. So man, we always like to end this up on a real estate thing. And so today really comes from a consultation that I had with clients. You know, they reached out to me. They wanted to know. Well, I really didn't know. I know they wanted to talk about real estate, but basically they want to get into investing. And they weren't really sure like the steps or how to do it or what they should be looking for. And so one of the things, as far as me being a real estate agent, is I've always looked at real estate from an investor's perspective. You know, that's just how I always seen it. And so, you know, being able to guide them, you know, through, it's like, okay, well, what's your goals? They want to be able to have residual income as they, you know, get older, to be able to, so that, you know, the wife doesn't have to work, you know, they can try to live off some of the income that they can get from the rental properties. And so I would always encourage people, if you're in a market where there are multifamily homes, and you want to get into rentals, I would always try to start with a multifamily. With a multifamily. One, you're able to inspect both of the properties. They're right there together, right? It's not like you got one on in this town and another one in this town. Typically, if there's a problem, it can be addressed fairly quickly. Like if it was a plumbing issue, it might affect both of them, but the fix also affects both of them. Right. So it's just, you know, it's one bill associated with that. The other thing is that you can, a lot of times that the people that own those are investors themselves. So they're not necessarily tied to the property. Right. So and most of the time when those properties are being sold, it's because somebody's just been tired of being a landlord. Right. Or two, somebody might have inherited the property, or three, the person that owns the property has found something else that they want to take that money and invest into.
Right.
And two of those circumstances, you have very motivated sellers, you know, when they're tired, burnt out, and when they're looking for something else to buy, they're going to put it out there at a number that is attractive to other investors. If it sits too long, they're going to reduce the price. If they don't reduce the price and it sits too long, it gives you, the buyer, an opportunity to get something at a better price.
Right.
Because they may say, okay, well, I don't want to reduce the price, but if an offer come in like this, I'd be willing to entertain it.
Okay.
Right. And so a lot of times, if you're looking for investment properties, I told them, I said, look for multifamily homes first. Look for ones that have been on the market for a while, second. And then out of those, you narrow it down and see which ones, you want to try to make an offer on. And you as a future investor, don't be too tied to any property, right? Base it off the numbers.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. In your experience, when you're talking about those sellers, those motivated sellers and stuff, and with those properties, do not more so than not, they come with a built-in income?
Most of the time, multifamilies do. And that's the other thing. A lot of times when they're on the market, there's no pictures.
Right.
So nobody knows what they look like until you go see them. Right. And then once you go see them, that's the importance of having a real estate agent that understands investing, is that when they go in there, you never know. They might not have pictures, one, because the house looks terrible on the inside, but two, they might not have pictures because that seller is in such a rush. Look, just take pictures on the outside, get it on the market. Whenever we can schedule to get pictures in there, we'll get pictures.
Right. And, but it motivates people that's really interested to come see it. Right.
And the people who really just tire kickers, they not going to come see it. And so and sometimes that adds to the days on the market. So like if I was working with an investor and if it were me, I'd be like, no, we're going to put these on after we get the pictures and stuff, no matter how motivated I am. And maybe even give the tenants an incentive. Hey, look, well, I'll take $100 off your rent if you let the photographer get in there this Friday. Right. Something simple like that. And so, I was saying all of that to say, if you see a house with minimal pictures and you're working with an agent that understands investing, if the house needs a whole bunch of work, they'll be able to guide you and say, okay, it looks, from what I can see visually, this looks like about $20,000 worth of work. Right. Because if you've never been an investor and this is your first investment, you don't know how much it's going to cost to change out the carpet in here. You don't know how much it's going to cost to repaint everything in here. You don't know how much it's going to cost to, say you want to replace the vanity and the toilet and stuff in the bathroom. A lot of people might think, oh my God, it costs a ton of money. But somebody who does that and understands it and works with investors is going to be able to guide you through that process. No, that's going to be $6,000. This is going to be $4,000. This might cost you $2,000 or $3,000. So if it's listed at this price here, let's just say, give round numbers, it's listed at $100,000. We're looking right now at about $18,000 worth of work. Let's offer them $82,000. So now you buying the property. And if it's cash flowing right at 100,000, let's just say you making at 100,000. If it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you're making $1,500 a month. That's $17,000 a year. That's well over a 10% cap rate, right? Yeah. So that's how.
Right. You're doing the equation, and by having a skilled agent there with you. Boom! Right. Now you got your numbers in place.
Now it's easy to pull the trigger. So I would say again, one, if you're thinking about buying investment properties, work with an agent that understands investment properties, works with investors, may even do some of their own fix and flips, because that's what you're going to need in order to be able to properly evaluate if a property is a good deal. Not necessarily that it's cheap always mean a good deal. Cheap could mean a money pit.
Oh yeah.
You buy the wrong property at the wrong price and you got to put too much money into it. You've lost before you even started.
Oh yeah.
Right. And again, it's a cash flow game. And I always tell people, you make your money when you buy.
That's it.
If you buy at the right price,
that's it.
You always can sell it. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my tip for the day.
Great information, man. Great information, no doubt.
Yeah. So So look, as always, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Again, make sure y'all like, comment, share, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Hey, I appreciate what you guys doing on TikTok. Look like we're getting some traction over there.
No doubt.
Even my kids seeing me on there, family seeing me on there. It's like, okay, that's what's up.
That's what's up.
It's crazy because I asked my son, he's in college. I was like, you seen the new set? He was like, I don't know if I seen the new set. He said, but I did see y'all on TikTok. He said you had a hat on. I was like, that's the new set. He was like, oh, okay. I gotta go back and take a look at it. So yeah, no, but yeah, so it's all it's we appreciate y'all. And as always,
that's it. Stay tapped in.
Stay tapped in.
Peace.
Peace.